Okay, so is the audio good? Okay, so is the audio good? Yes, it is. Big Daddy of 6, how are ya? Hello, Sindel bro. Yeah, we've had a very unseasonal winter, bud, which is the best way to describe it. So what we're going to try and do today is we're going to try and see if we can catch on to any of these late season sort of spawners, depending how you look at it. So what's happening at the moment is we've got the high tide coming in. If you look at the water, it's slightly discoloured. Eventually the clear salt water will push the fresh water back. In fact, I think that's what's happened in the middle. We've got a current line here, so we'll just see how we go, eh? But yeah, that's all we can do. I've got to put the camera in the shade, as there isn't much when you usually fish before lunchtime, you know. You've just asked. No, you didn't technically there. I'm going well. Sindel bro. Hey Sindel bro. Yeah, that's the current line out there. What I might do though, yeah, that's probably a better idea. That gives it a more accurate depiction. Thanks to the 11 viewers that have tuned in already. Let's put this quite close to the trunk. Okay, that's probably a bit better, eh? Yeah, why not? Let's do that. Hey, okay. Now, river fishing lesson 101. See in here where you've got this seam. Okay, I think the salt water's pushing through in the middle and it's pushing the fresh water out to the edges. So eventually we want the main volume of salt water to come in here and push this fresh water back. I don't know whether you can see here, see how the tide's coming in? You can see all this gunk moving from right to left on the screen. And it's the same old story, little snippets of information like that can quite often help your fishing, if you know what I mean. Let's get the old tripod right. There we go. Lovely. Let's get that in there. All right. That should be okay. All right, and look people, what we're going to do too is, let's just chuck this in here. Okay, let's do that. Zoom in. Excellent, now we have none of the tree and we have all of that. Great, there we go. All right fam, let's just shift this to the side. Rob Aussie, how are you? And DeBuzzard, how are you, mate? I'm looking forward to testing out that rhubarb recipe, mate. Some of our rhubarb have already shot up to about 18 inches long on the leaf and the stem. So yeah, all good. Welcome everyone. So yeah, like I said, at the moment, I think the salt water's sort of pushing through in the middle, okay? And hey, God's Loyal, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. Yeah, not bad, Rob Aussie, what's going on? And what happens is people, look, everybody's banging on about climate change and that sort of stuff, but no one talks about seasons anymore. So all the doomsday climate activist types were banging on how, oh, you know, we're going to have a very dry winter. Boom, the next day we had 120 mil of rainfall in the area, right? So this season, and this is the problem, not enough people are old enough to sort of remember the really dry times. 84 and 85 was a drought. There was absolutely stuff all in this river. It was quite a salty river, right? But that was not so much temperature, that was lack of water, which is what they deem it on. They don't deem it on temperature, they deem it on the rainfall and all that. So look, this year has been an unusually hot summer, which happens, you know, once every 30, 20, 25 years, whatever. And the biggest problem with the rivers is when it gets too hot, they shut down. So the classic with that was, you know, last year we caught and released, I don't know, what was it, about 40 mulloway live on stream. This year I got one, right? And that was further down that way. But what happens is you've always got a continual sort of movement of salt and fresh water. So you'll have salt and fresh water, and then you'll have an estuarine system in between where they mix, right? Usually the salt sits underneath because it's heavier, the fresh water on top. But what happens is in the winter, we've just had our first winter rains, when the highlands fill up with the cold fresh water, it'll push into the rivers, and then you'll see all the dirt and the silt and that sort of start to push down. And you can literally see what we call a current line. So on one side it'll be clear, on the other side it'll be dirty. It happens in Perth in the Swan River a fair bit. If you've got a tinny or a kayak and you fish along that current line, you'll be amazed at what you can catch, okay? Perth's a really good fishery, people. I don't live in Perth. Bit worried about the car getting broken into if I did go to Perth, but hey, you know, we've got to do these things eventually, you know? Right. Yeah, I'm good, bud. Hey, Headhunter, how are you, bud? Expert Scav, how are you, mate? It's not really going yet. I haven't had a cast. So, today's rig. What we're going to do today, famo, we're going to use some shad soft plastics today, right? And what I'm going to use today, when you're fishing discoloured water, right, the Berkeley gulps are a great option because A, fish can see them, so you've got the visual aspect of the predatory instinct, and they actually have a scent in them as well, so you've also got the you know, like the sensory aspect. And with the shape of the tails and that sort of stuff, they'll vibrate and the fish will pick it up in their lateral line and hopefully trigger a response. So the one colour that worked this year for the one mulloway that we got live on stream was chartreuse. So what I've got here, okay, is a 3-inch chartreuse minnow shad, okay? Now, with these, we don't fish them with Carolina rigs and all the rest of it. 1/16 ounce jig head, 20 to 30 pound leader, depending on what you want to use, right? And fish them slow. Got to fish that far off the bottom, and you've literally got to put the soft plastic in front of the fish's snout for it to hit, okay? And that's why we're just going to try. You know, I don't know what's in the water. I mean, this isn't a pond or anything, so it's not stocked. This is a river that links to the ocean. Anything could be in here, okay? I think a couple of seasons ago there was about a 50-pound yellowfin tuna that was sick swimming up the river, and someone got it obviously because they, you know, wanted to do it. But yeah, we'll see how we go, eh? Headhunter, hope you're well, bud. Oh wow, thank you very much. 41 viewers after 11 minutes. Appreciate the support, famo. And look, another thing too, we've got 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. So now we're going to do a massive push on all platforms that we're on. Right, so let me show you to rig these. I got some monofilament samples sent over from the United States of China for the store. The line's really good, the spools are terrible. So basically what we're going to be doing is, this is very similar to Andy fishing line, no surprise there. Right, so we're going to be doing 1,000 metre spools of monofilament on the website, including postage, for about $40, people. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to be using that, okay? And we'll see how we go. This is the same line that I used on the beach last week when we caught those 30 odd fish or whatever, okay? And like I said, the line's pretty good, but the spools are terrible. But we'll fix that before they come in. The other thing is too, people, on the way home today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to save your money. Now, if you go fishing once a week, right, and you get into the habit of ducking down to the service station or your tackle store to buy a fresh bag of bait and all the rest of it, it can end up being a very expensive exercise. What I've done is I've ordered a 15 kilo box of IQF muleys from my local tackle store. Now, in the service stations and that, a kilo of muleys, or pilchards as they're called on the east coast, can cost you anywhere from $9 to $11 depending on where you buy it from, or even more in some instances on the places down south. When you buy it in a 15 kilo box, it works out to $5.67 a kilo. So straight up, you've saved yourself $7 or $8 per kilo, which you can put to your fuel and other stuff. All right. So what I'll do is I'll show you how to do that. It's really simple. Go home. You get the clip lock bags, right? You weigh out how many IQF muleys there are to a kilo. Then you match up your hooks and away you go. Okay. Rightio. Now, so that's where it went, cheeky bugger. In terms of fishing rods, okay, soft plastic fishing rods are one of the few rods on the market that you have to purchase for specific purpose or application, okay? So with the Shimano rods that I have here, okay, these are the, I can't even remember what they're called now, hang on. That's Japanese, so I won't remember that. Can't even remember what I called them. Here they are. Oh, here we go. Zodius. Let's do that again, shall we? All right, so soft plastic fishing rods are one of the few rods of the market that are specific for soft plastic fishing. So see how you've got the really soft tip? You want a nice progressive tapered fishing rod because all of the action is in the tip, and you want the bait to have a nice gentle, you know, undulating action in the water. So this is the Zodius, where are we? 270L from memory? No, this is the 264L. So basically this is a two-piece 6'4" light rod. Now, what they've done is that whole top part of the rod is one piece. It clips into the blank here. And this is the 270ML. This is a better rod for hard-bodied lures and also for heavy spinners when you go freshwater fishing because it's stiffer. So what we're going to do today, I've matched this up with the Stratic 3000 and the Stratic 4000 XG. Okay, lovely little reels. These are the last rod and reel I'll buy to do this fishing with before I die. Right, and so what we're going to do now is we're just going to fish soft plastics with this, and we may well put some of the hard-bodied lures on here. If you're going to fish slightly murky water like this, it always helps you to make a bit of noise first. So some of these bibless minnows that I've got that have got the sonic rattles in them, I'll cast them out, I'll let them sink to the bottom. I don't care if I don't catch a fish, because when I bump them through, they're going to rattle and they're going to attract fish to the area. I don't know, so fish 10-15 minutes with them, see what's around. Then you rip them out the water and you start using your soft plastics. Any fish that have picked on the noise and that end up in the area, you'll have the soft plastics belting around and you'll have more of a chance of getting a fish. Okay, so let's see how we go today. All right. Zdreczny, dzień dobry. My friend, correct, when you first start fishing, we've been over this spot, okay, with the kayak and using the echo sounder. Here, there's a drop off. It's the only spot on this stretch of river for about another 500 metres and for about another 300 metres that way, where you've got a drop off that the fish will sit and look up. When you bring the soft plastics over it, they come up and they hit it and they try and go back into the drop off. That's why we fish here. We've caught and released, not this year because it's been terrible, but last year from this one spot, I think we got 30 mulloway, and the year before we got 40 odd or whatever. So this spot has produced over the years. It's just last year was a very hot summer. So what I'm going to do, people, if I can offer one other piece of advice too, every time you go fishing, right, get into the habit of putting a brand new leader on, okay? Nice fresh leader, because you'll never know what damage you've had with the one that's on there, because with fine fishing lines, okay, you can't really see, you know what I mean? The only time you know what's going on is when you run your finger over it, because sometimes your eyes aren't as good as your senses with your skin on picking up the blemishes, all right? You can't see them because they're too small, especially as you get older, right? So this is a very, very simple exercise, people. Soft plastic fishing is a game of patience, right? And you've just got to try and... Hey, Jay, how are you, bud? Welcome, mate. Now, let me show you how to do a loop knot. Loop knots, once you start fishing with loop knots, you'll increase your catch rate by 40% when you're using lures and soft plastics, okay? So basically what you do is you tie yourself a little granny knot. Good old granny. Where would we be without granny? All right, I always tie the loop on first before I tie it to the line. So what you do, try and make that granny knot as small as possible, right, and get it as close as possible to your jig head or lure. And then what you do is, see how I've brought the line through there, right? Then it's really simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put that through the loop that you've made with the granny knot, then reach through and grab the tag end, okay? And what'll happen is, see, we've got the line coming in perpendicular. Loop like that. Never works when you live stream, you know. So what we've got there is we've got a beautiful compact little loop knot, okay? Now, the good thing about loop knots is if you tighten your line as tight as you can to your jig head or your lures, you'd be better off using a piece of wood in the water, because you won't let it flutter naturally. So when you use soft plastics, that'll come up, and then that'll just let go, and it'll have a natural drift when it heads down to the bottom. The secret to your soft plastic fishing is you've got to try and make it look as natural as you can when you're fishing with it, okay? So, Aussie Titan, how are you, bud? Don't know, mate, I haven't had a cast yet. So what we want to do is, we want to leave about 50 centimeters of line between the jig head and between the swivel. Oh dear. And then that's the way we've got it. Excuse me for a second, everyone. forgot to turn it on. Rightio, so let me just get that. Right, that's the empty one. Rightio, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to use some Loctite super glue, right, and with that, what it'll do is that'll just hold the soft plastic in the correct position. You literally only need a drop, right, and what that'll do is that will hold the soft plastic in the correct position on the jig head like that, and then what you'll have is a true presentation in the water. See, now the super glue won't put the soft plastics, sorry, the super glue won't put a scent in the soft plastic, just got to give enough time to dry. All right, let's see how we go. Right, that's ready to go, and then what we'll do is we'll just put another one on here and it's all good. Actually, I've got enough on there. That one didn't get used last time. Let's get some of these on here. All right, let's see what happens. Right. Dun, dun, dun. Just do another little loop knot. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Vibes or Bibless minnows, or whatever you want to call them first, okay? These have got the sonic rattle. We'll just see if there's anything out there, and we'll use the soft plastics. Hey Christmas, how are you, bud? Okay. Let's see how we go now. So even though this is a lure that they normally use on the surface, we're going to use it on the bottom. That might not be a good idea there, as I think there's a snag there. Right, let's go out here. Whereabouts are you, Liam? Are you in Australia or the States or Europe? Fresno, California. Okay, bud. Nice one, mate. If you're going to come into the chat, people, just integrate with the chat and just don't spam your emotes, okay? I know you guys have probably come in and done it deliberately just to get a reaction, but we have had a policy in the channel for a long time. So that's the first time that person's been in the channel, right? And I don't know what it is with you guys that come in and do that. It's quite funny. So yeah, all right. Yeah, if you like to fish with the worms and that sort of stuff, bud. Yeah, we've got a really good community here of good people from all over the world that all integrate in chat and, you know, stick to the theme of the stream. So, you know, whatever you want to do, you want to do. Hey, Loey, how are you, bud? Yeah, I think we're a bit of a minority, really, Loey. You know, middle-aged bloody guys that have jobs, you know. Oh, I hear you, Big Daddy. Works good, mate. It's routine, you know. So why is this going the other way now? It should be coming in. Well, that's interesting. High tide's not for another 2 hours. That's right. Yes. Yes. There's 4 letters in beer and there's 4 letters in work. Remember that. Don't think there's much happening. It's been a terrible season for the croakers. Absolutely terrible. Okay. Yeah, Liam, I have no idea what you're going on about, bud. Okay, so about another 5 minutes of this and then we'll rip out the soft blackies, eh? Yeah, I don't know what you're on about, Liam, but anyway, enjoy the stream, bud. Is that phone still in the shade? Yep, good. Okay, we've had a couple of follows from a couple of tailor, which are called bluefish in America. We were fishing a bit further down at the junction of another little waterway, and we put on those big 4-inch gold and black bomber lures, and we cast them out for a while. Then we went to the soft plastics. That was the night we were fighting that fish for about 15 minutes and then lost it when it turned in the water. So there's a bit of merit to that old system, but so hopefully there's something around today, but like I said, it's been a very poor season compared to previous ones. We're pretty lucky in Australia. We're still one of the few countries in the world where we can just rock up to any fishing spot and start fishing. We don't have to have licenses to fish on this river or anything like that. A lot of the rivers overseas are privately owned, so you don't have that luxury, you know. Yeah, I'd like to know where all this salt water's meant to be. At least we haven't had the fish kill this year that we had last year, so that's really bad. When the fish kill happens, oh, it's disgusting. I think that contributes a lot to why we're having so many headaches too with our fish numbers. Thanks to the 71 viewers that are in here after 40 minutes. Thanks, God's Loyal. Right, God's Law, how have you been, bud? You've been a bit quiet recently. I've been a bit concerned for you, mate. You're not your normal chirpy self. You know what I mean? He's thinking, here we go. Anything interesting happening? Hey, technician, how are you, bud? What's going on, mate? Now that in itself is the two most relevant things you've ever said. I'm trying to reform. Well, kind of. You'll be right. Don't reform, bud. Let loose. Okay? How you been, technician? What's going on over there, mate? How's the old night shift going, bud? Okay, once this starts clearing up, I'll get out the soft plastic, I think. Oh, nice one, mate. You haven't gone vegan on me, have you? Oh, I reckon the eyebrows would be joining just about now. The ears would be pinning back, and he's ready to unleash. Taking all the meat out of your diet and become a bit more passive. There's the God's Loyal that we know. Okay, there he is. Oh, good on you, technician. And to think, 3 minutes ago, he was just sitting passively in chat. You know, just chilling out, enjoying the stream. And then it started. Okay. So this style of lure is known as a bibless minnow. So basically we've got the minnow profile without a bib on it, okay? With the positioning of these steel rings, what you can do is you can actually retrieve this lure, and with the taper at the tail, it'll vibrate in the water, releasing this like little rattle, okay? So normally what they do is they have a set of hooks underneath here, and you generally retrieve these quickly underneath, oh, well, just that far under the surface of the water. so you can fish them over snags and everything. A lot of people like to use them for barrow and queenfish and a lot of your tropical species up north. Even though they are fished generally as a surface lure, I take the middle treble off them here and I fish them on the bottom, because what they'll do is they'll sit like that and the treble will sit like that in the water. It might move a bit with the current. Then that way when you retrieve them, you can bump them similar to a soft plastic. One of the best ways to fish them, if you've got a nice bottom on the waterway that you're fishing, just retrieve them really slowly, like they're grubbing through the water, okay? And like I said to you, we're just using these today to let the fish know that we're around. We'll go to soft plastics in a minute, but there's something not right here because the salt water hasn't pushed up yet. So I don't know what's going on there. Mate, if you're out of beer, how are you going to run to the store? You'll probably take 3 steps forward, 2 back, 1 sideways, fall over, you know. So, God's loyal. You know there's always a fair bit of banter between us. This is purely to get a response out of you. Do you drink Bud Light? Oh, come on. You and Kid Rock love Bud Light, mate. I mean, he wasn't as neurotic now as he was before he started watching the stream, but we're working on it. All right, a lot of little tailor. Exactly right, everything. Exactly right, bud. Foster's, great way to get beat up. Oh, jet ski is lovely. Hopefully it's a family and not young blokes trying to promote the testosterone. Night Walker, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. That's an interesting username. Is that from a show or something? That's exactly right. Mate, don't chase the dolphin, bud. Just leave it alone. Yeah, we've got a dolphin in the river, fam. Just leave it alone. Just keep moving with your jet ski. Don't worry about it. They're having a lot of problems in Mandurah at the moment. A lot of the people down there that are doing the guided tours for the dolphins are chasing after them in the boats. So no, you're right, Big Daddy. Don't worry about it, bud. You keep your money, mate. Technician. Oh, mate. Do you remember when the Fosters first came out at the Grand Prix back in the 90s or whatever? You know, it was just like, all right, we've got a dolphin coming through, people. So what they're doing is they're actually just hunting, okay? They might come over this side and start. What they'll do is, as the current comes up, they usually follow the high tide up. And when the mullet and everything come through, they'll chase the mullet into certain parts of the river. And then what they'll do is they'll just herd it in, if you know what I mean. So if there's a bit of noise over there, the dolphin might come over here. There it is out in the middle. See how the jet skis took off and it come back? When they're hunting and that sort of stuff, one of the first things you can do, and the worst things you can do, is stick around in a boat or a jet ski. Because they're trying to feed, if you know what I mean. So. Oh, do they? Seven. How are you, bud? Alive. How are you, Poke? What's going on, bud? Welcome, everyone. We won't get a fish while the dolphin's here. But we'll still make a bit of noise, eh? Yeah, that's right, wasn't it? When I Did you really, Poke? Well done, mate. How are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Are you from Adelaide? Or are you like other parts of Australia? Hey, Petty Demon, how are you, bud? What's going on, mate? Welcome to the stream, buddy. What's going on? You well? Canberra, okay, bud. Yeah, they're still in the water. So are you a crow or are you a power? And I'm not trying to be rude here, but you can usually tell when someone's from Adelaide when they have, and this is not being rude, okay? This is Australian. A lot of people from Adelaide have cock in their name. Job cock, Hancock, her cock, his cock, C-O-C-K on the end. Usually that's a surname associated with Adelaide. Hey Dex, how are you, bud? Power, okay, mate. All right. Thanks everyone for sticking around. All right, so we've got some little bait fish that are in here, people. Excellent. Famo, we've just had some bait fish that have been pushed up to the surface here. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to bring in the soft plastic. Sorry, I'm going to bring in the hard-bodied vibe, and I'm going to start using the soft plastic. That's exactly what we were waiting for. Okay? In Adelaide, did you fish the Glenelg River, Poke? Excellent. All right, famo, good. We've just seen some bait fish get herded to the surface. So either that's mulloway or something else. Right, let's just get a little chartreuse out and see if our theory's going to work. What's your favourite spot in Adelaide, mate? All right, so what I have there is a 1/16. Hey, Spark, how are you, mate? Welcome to the stream. With your soft plastics, notice when I cast that soft plastic, then I didn't tick over my bail arm. What'll happen with that is if you tick over your bail arm, your soft plastic comes in towards you at an unnatural action at about a 45-degree angle because it pivots off the rod tip. If you cast out and leave your bail arm open, it'll just flutter down to the bottom like a naturally injured fish. Right, let's see if there's anything out here, eh? It's not really working that well. That's not a very heavy soft plastic. Might have to ring Marine and Harbours, mate. They're only meant to be doing 8Ks on here. No, that's not fishing very well at all. Why is that? The Port River and West Lakes. Oh, nice one, mate. Oh, really, Invader Zim? Yep, just what we need. More jet skis down here. Great. Oh, is it Zim? Okay. Yeah, we're not too bad here. We don't have the population. Oh, there's some mullet that are coming through. All right, we need to change our soft plastics, I think. Yeah, they're all getting pushed out to the edge. Righto, people, we've got a heap of smaller mullet through here that have been following the soft plastic in, right, which is good. That's not really working that well. I'm not too happy with this soft plastic. Let me just check something here. It fishes all other bait. Really, we'll see how that goes. That's a 4-inch gulp. No, you know what I'm going to do, famo? I'm going to go to the Nemesis. I might go to a shad pattern because this is not fishing very well at all. It's not tracking straight. It's not vibrating in the water, so we might have to swap it over. Oh, mulloway. Okay, Poke. Yeah, we don't have anywhere the numbers that the East Coast and South Australia has for mulloway here. We've actually got a very poor fishery compared to other parts of Australia, people. Right? So, you know, even, I think it's just a lot of it was from the professional fishing pressure back in the 70s and 80s. They ripped a lot of the bigger fish out of the waterways, and the upper sort of echelon of the biomass determines a lot of the population lower down on the biomass. So, you know, anyway, we'll figure it out. Just going to swap over the soft plastic in a second. I'm going to put a bigger one on. A lot of the mullet in here aren't as small as they were at the start of the season. They're a lot bigger. They're more around the 4-inch length rather than the 3-inch. So we'll see what happens, eh? Yeah, no, that's not good at all. Have a couple more casts and swap it over. Right, might have to go to a 3/16 ounce jig head. That's too big, that's too big, that's too big. Too big, too big, too big, way too big. Better, but still a bit big. Same old story, people. Blitzer, how are you? Get a lot of garfish. Mate, garfish is one fish that's virtually fallen off the face of the earth here in WA. We've caught one garfish in I don't know how many like streams here. You know, just, yeah. Biggest problem was a lot of people used to fish for garfish to use for bait up north. And they're the same idiots that turn around and go, oh, there's no garfish left in the Swan. It's like, yeah, because you caught them all. There used to be a little species of garfish in the Swan River that didn't have quite as big a bill as the other garfish out in the ocean, but a lot of them like fished them out and netted them. Yeah, garfish are, and they've got quite a big scale for a small fish, you know. Garfish are beautiful and soft. When you butterfly garfish fillets, mate, you have a very nice meal. Rightio, I'm going to swap this out. I'm not happy with this soft plastic. Right. These are the soft plastics that were invented for the drop shots, if you know what I mean, and you can pick them up on the echo sounders. We're more interested in soft plastics that have a more flamboyant action here, so I'm just going to swap this out now. What I'll do is I'll just put them back. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap over now. Oh, I'm going to use now. Let's have a look. What have we got? All right, now, you might not believe me on this. One of the best colours in these waterways is the blue pepper neons, right? In the Nemesis. What I'll do is I thought I got some different ones there. We've also got some Z-Man soft plastics, all sorts of stuff. Are they 3-inch or 4-inch? No, they're 4-inch. Why is that leaking? Actually, you know what? Let's use... No, we'll use the 4-inch. That's okay. And we'll use a 3/16 ounce jig head, a little bit bigger. Oh, hey Poke, thank you very much for subbing with Twitch Prime. People, there's a lot of misinformation about Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime isn't free. You've got to pay for your Prime membership, and then they give you the sub, okay? So the fact that you've decided to use that with us, thank you very much for that, mate. What I'm going to do is just swap this out. Look, Spark, it depends which stream you're in. We refer garfish as garfish, but in American fishing streams, they refer to the alligator garfish, which grows up to 7 foot long, as gar. So it just depends. You might need to get a clarification on that, mate, you know. Rightio. Oh, did that snap? That's the problem with these spools. They're terrible. What's the other one? They're still terrible, though. That's the thing, people, you know, everybody bangs on about everything being cheaper in China. A lot of it isn't as good a quality as the stuff that you buy, you know. Yeah, thanks everyone for sticking around. That's what it's about, people being in chat and watching the stream, fam. Alright, so what I'll do, okay, is let me show you how to do a loop knot. Alright, so first thing you do when you do a loop knot is you tie a granny knot like that. Put that through the eye of the jig head that you're going to fish your soft plastic on. And then what you do, just push that down to the granny knot, okay, as close as you can like that. And then what you do, put your tag end through the loop that you've made there with your granny knot, bring that through, and then you just do an improved clinch knot. 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, 5, 6, 7. Then you put that back through the loop that you've made, reach through, grab your tag end, right, and bring it down. Now, the mistake people make with their loop knots is they'll try and pull the tag end towards the hook. Don't do that. Pull that away from the hook so it locks in, see? And the other rule too, when you do a loop, never make it longer than the distance between the eye of the jig head and the point of the hook there, because what will happen is when you cast it out, it'll get tangled up, all right? So they're the two basics with your loop knot. Ryan loves Jesus. How are you, bud? Oh, okay, Spark. You're from Norway, are you? Okay, mate. Welcome. Actually, what I'll do, let me just get a 4-inch smelt. Blue pepper neon, I don't like that colour, the chicken. 3-inch smelt, I don't want 3-inch smelt, I want 4-inch smelt. A lot of people bang on about these like peppered chicken colours. I don't like them at all. I prefer the smelt and the prawn colours. That's a good size soft plastic. In case there is one out here, we'll go 4-inch. Hey Molly Socks, how are you, bud? Oh, nice one, Spark. Yeah, we're going to be on the beach tomorrow, bud. We don't like to do too much content that's similar, Spark. We like to mix it up, you know. So Thursday we're going to be down south freshwater fishing. I've been fishing for over 50 years, and in that time I've learnt the best time of the year to go fishing to do certain things, right? At the moment, a lot of the freshwater rivers down south are too dirty, but if you know where to go, you should be able to get some fish. So we've got a few things planned, okay? Now, when you're rigging soft plastics is a game of millimetres. So see down here how we have the seam on the soft plastic, right? What I want to do is I want to get this hook flush in the middle, and I want to bring the hook out right on the seam. See how I brought it on the seam? That way I'm right in the middle of the soft plastic. Then what I do is I push it to the front of my jig like that. That's roughly where that needs to go in. Bring that in there, voila. Now see how we've presented that spot on? Because we've made sure that everything's in the middle, okay? And then we've taken our time to do it. Now let me just shift this camera before it gets too hot. I've got to be on top of that. And then we'll have to shift it out again. Let's just chuck that in there. Oops. That's not going to work, is it? Hang on, people. Yeah, I spend a lot of time trying to get a good angle for the community, if you know what I mean. And don't do that. Don't be cheeky. Actually, probably better off doing this, I think. There we are. Okay. Just take that back a bit. There's a good angle there, nice. So what we're going to do now is, let me show you a little trick. For those of you that like using soft plastics, right? Jamal, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Where is it? Right. Rightio. All good. Now, do yourself a favour, get yourself some of this Loctite super glue gel, right? All you need is one drop. There. Okay. And what that will do, is that will hold your soft plastic in place there perfectly, okay? So what'll happen is, what happened there? Why is that leaking so much? So what'll happen is, when we fish this now, right, that will fish true in the water like that, okay? All right. Hey Lizard, how are you, bud? Not yet, mate. I was casting around the I'm going to turn this phone off in a minute, I think. I said after 2 o'clock, bud, not now. All right, so what we're going to do, okay, is Great, so what I've got now is I've got a 3/16 ounce jig head, right, with a 4-inch tail. That seems to suit better for that. Okay, so now what we'll do, yeah, I was using some gulps. Oh, the dolphin's back, people, just in the middle here, so we won't bother casting. Here it is. Check this out. It's a pity it's not a mulloway with a big rise like that, but anyway, here, I'll just show you. Oh, for God's sake. They get quite spectacular when they feed sometimes. Hang on. There we go. Thanks to the 103 viewers that are in here, greatly appreciated. The only way you'll find out, Campos, is to go out and have a fish, mate. No one knows, bud. Right? No one knows. Everybody looks at lunar charts and all sorts of stuff. Don't waste your time. Just go out for a fish and find out for yourself. Oh, right. So, now, if that wasn't a dolphin, that was a fish. So let's see what's going on, eh? That's better. Now I can feel that soft plastic working. You got to remember, people, when we live stream, we like to do it so you can come down and watch the stream, right? And do what we're doing yourself. What do you mean by that, Spark? I don't understand what you're referring to. All right, see that over there, people? See the bait fish that are getting smashed over there? And of course, my soft plastic's not there. I have no idea what's chasing that, but let's have a look. There's a fish underneath that. It's either the dolphin or a mulloway. Right, we're into it. We're right in the middle of that bait fish. Oh, of course, it's on the left-hand side, isn't it? I need to get a wider angle on that camera. That was good footage that went begging. All right, we've had a hit. Come on. There might be a mulloway under this, people. Hey there, Barrow. Welcome, bud. I think what they did is they bit the tail off the soft plastic, which is what they normally do. There we go. No, that's a tailor. Oh, yeah. Come on, you cheeky buggers. This is the problem, they'll hit the tail. Yeah, don't know, Manzi. I can't speak fish, but I hope to find out in a minute. All right. So we did have a hit then. Just excuse me for a second, fam. Well, at least we know what colour to use on this lure. Right, so let's bring that in here. Right, we do have some activity. Just try and cast your eyes in the middle of this area through here. We did have a big bait fish school before that came up, and then we had something trying to hit the soft plastic, but it was very tentative, you know. I don't know who that is, Manzi. I'll take your word for it. Boom, there we go. Oh, SpongeBob, righto, mate. What is wrong with this? Okay. We did have a couple of good hits before, but I think they were just mucking around. Yeah, I certainly do, Spark. I'm actually a fly fishing instructor, and I used to do a lot of guided tours with the fly fishing. We just haven't done much so far because I'm still getting all my fly fishing gear sorted. We did a fly tying stream the other night, I think it was Sunday night. And now what we're going to do is, just leading into the start of winter before the big rains come, we'll do a bit of freshwater fishing with the fly fishing gear. And then in the spring, we'll do a lot of it. Okay, so yeah, we do a lot of fly fishing on this channel, mate. So yeah, if you stick around for that, I'll show you a lot of fly fishing content, Spark. But please don't get confused with your wonderful fish species, because we don't have them over here. Right. 4 inch is probably a bit big, but I think that's about the only thing that'll work. Trout and salmon. Yeah, we do a lot of saltwater fly fishing over here, Hexed. We have a salmon in our saltwater that's more of a saltwater perch than an actual salmon. But when the English settlers came here, they named it the Australian salmon, you know, so. Yeah, but at least you've got the perfect waterways for trout and salmon, mate. You know, we don't. This is saltwater. A lot of our rivers from the coast, they're saltwater anywhere up to 15 or 20 kilometres inland, or a mixture of both, you know. Red Eagle, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. How's your day going? Right, people, we're going to try something different in a minute. Okay, so this is what we're going to do, Famo. We're going to give the fish time to have a look at the soft plastic. Right, we're just going to cast that out and let that sink to the bottom. Okay? Yes, Red Eagle, but do you ever really hide, bud? Well, mate, the thing is, we can actually fish all year round here, Hexed. No problems whatsoever. And we don't ice fish because I've never seen snow in my lifetime in WA. You just keep telling yourself that, Eagle. See over there, people, we've just had another rise. Remember I said to you to keep an eye over there? Right, so there are some fish coming up with the salt water. Let's hope they hit our soft plastic. And this is the thing, Famo, when you like do this sort of thing, right? You just got to keep, hey Dembski, how are you, bud? You just got to keep, you know, keep your wits about you. You don't go to university to learn how to fish, people. You know what I mean? Oh, nice one, Dembski. Nah, there is an invader Zim, and I'm not too bad about that, you know. We're quite glad about that. You can have your ice and your snow, mate. It's overrated. Let's slow this right down. Whoa, people, we've just had another school of mullet get pushed in. Just in front of me here, I've got a little school of mullet that look exactly like the soft plastic that we've got in the water, right? So something must be pushing them into the side here Oi, what was that? I don't know whether it's a shark or whatever. Yeah, but that's how it goes, Eagle. But remember, bud, there's two things that you can't beat. Beginner's luck and lady luck, mate. So when he does catch a fish, he's probably going to catch one that's as big as all the fish that you've put together yourself, mate. And you don't say that, mate, because that means that you're not a very good teacher, you know? So... So, Eagle, whereabouts do you go fishing? Are you in the East Coast or...? Now, people, next weekend, we've got a special stream coming up. I've got one of my mods coming down to stay with me. And what we're basically going to do is we're just going to have a question and answer one night and have a barbecue. We're going to plonk down a carton of top quality Western Australian beer, because that's the only beer, right? And we're just going to shoot the breeze, get drunk as skunks, and probably give Rev Vape Lord a run for his money, you know? So, yeah, that's what it is, Dembski, you know what I mean? So, I don't have many mods, people. I've got 4 people that are mods that are really good people, right? And, a couple of them aren't in WA, so I can't really do much with that. I'm going to go over to Sydney and see one, hopefully in the winter. And then the other one's in Sweden, and he's a great fella. So, yeah, you know, and these people are good friends of mine. And, yeah, this mod's coming down. And like I said, we're just going to plonk open a carton of either Swan Draft or Emu Export, minus the wife beater singlet and axe handles. All right, that's a West Australian location joke. Excuse me. You're in the Midwest of America and you drive all the way to Lake Erie. Okay, bud. Did you just say VB? Now, on the eastern states, Victoria Bitter is an abbreviation, okay, of VB. In Australia, in Western Australia, we say the VB stands for vaginal backwash. Just throwing it out there to all the eastern states people that drink beer that I deliberately tried to offend then, okay? Straya, how are you, bud? What's going on, man? Hey? Whoa! Well, people, we just had a little gold and bronze flash about that big just hit close into the shore. Righty, how are you, bud? What's going on? They don't know beer. They don't know beer. What are you talking about? They don't know beer. Yeah, and look, people, when we do this stream, it's just going to be a shit stir, okay? Not a shit stir, it's just... This is what, you know, is about being Australian. Just 2 friends catching up, barbecue, beers, and just shooting the breeze, mate. You know, and just talking smack. Nothing offensive, if you know what I mean. But there will be a bit of a piss take in there, but more about that later. Oh, petty, harsh. That's right. Yeah, we don't need American beer, mate. We've got Australian beer, bud. Why would we need American beer? You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you what, one beer that I am fond of is Cooper's, especially the stout. Oh, I don't normally drink, but when I do, I don't mind a beer that you can stick a metal spoon up in, you know, a bit like McDonald's coffee, you know what I'm saying? Comrade Jay, did you just say you drank Foster's? Everyone in chat, do the Australian thing now that Comrade Jay has admitted that, and everybody chat, just jump in and kick the shit out of him. All right, in chat. All right, there you go. Yeah, Great Northern isn't too bad. Mate, I was at a pub post a America's Cup when we won it, and I was working in Perth at the time, and someone's come in and gone, "Oh, I'll have a Foster's, thanks." And the bloke's just looked at him, plonked his beer down and gone, "You C-U-N-T, fuck." It's probably... Oh, now, all right. All right, now, Lorpheus. Correction, Carlton Draft is a good drop. That's right. Foster's is a swear word. You know what? I think we'll do that. We'll have a exclamation mark Foster's command, and we'll say that Foster's is a swear word, okay? We're only joking, comrade. It's just a bit of Aussie banter, mate. Right? You drink what you like. Okay? Oh, dear. Now, people, as I said to you, on the way home, I'm going to go and buy a big box of muleys from the tackle store, right? And then I'm going to show you how to save some money on your bait. No, we'll be right, bud. We'll be right. We'll get that for next time. Lovely cast. That's magnificent. Yeah, the redfin perch in the southwest haven't started their migration spawn yet. When they do, we'll be down there, people. Flat out, okay? Well, mate, firstly, Australian beer is made in Australia, Eagle. And American beer is made in America. That's the obvious one. And the second one is, I don't know what they do with the makeup, but there's a distinct difference, mate. Your beer, I don't know, like I've tried American beer before. I've tried, tried Budweiser, which everyone's tried, and a couple of others. I don't know, it just seems to taste like it's got a lot more chemical in it. But where you got Swan Draft and Export, you drink it, you're like, oh, hello, old friend. You know what I mean? Big difference. That's right. Oh, gotta love it. That's one thing that Aussies are patriotic about, their beer. Can everybody see the bait fish in the middle there? Can you see over there where they're being hit in the middle? So what happens was they were over here before and our soft plastic got hit. So wherever hitting them is now in the middle there. That's either Mulloway or Taylor, okay? No, not for another 3,000 k's north, Himmer. Yeah, now Sparky, let me put things into perspective for you, buddy. When we drink beer in Australia, it's 40 degrees Celsius, okay? And it's hot. So your taste buds do change and they do tend to appreciate beer the hotter the temperature gets. In your case, you need to keep warm, right? We need to keep cool. There's the difference. So Sparky, if you ever come to Australia, we'll take you out to a pub and we'll get you absolutely fuckwit pissed, as we called it in Australia, okay? Eagle, come to Australia, we'll take you out and we'll get you F-wit pissed too, bud, because it's a great Australian tradition. Until you're vomiting and we're wheeling you out in the wheelbarrow position from the pub, you haven't achieved anything as a man. Just remember that. All right? That's right, Australia. Yeah. Beerology. That would be a good username on Twitch, wouldn't it? Beerology or beerologist, you know? LaFleur, how are you, bud? Bring it, Himmer. Bring it. And remember, people, always drink responsibly. Okay, I think we're going to have to start bringing... We've got some silver flashes in close, people. So there's a lot of fish coming up with the salt water from the high tide. Okay, it's the same old story. When you fish rivers, it's literally like a switch goes off. You'll have nothing, switch goes off, you'll catch fish, 15, 20, 30 minutes, switch goes off again, okay? Now, Spark, with all due respect, bud, there's a little bit of a difference in climate. So there's a little bit of a difference in terminology. What is your definition of partying? Because I can assure you, mate, once you come to Australia and party, you'll be the party guru wherever you go in the world. Okay? So be careful how you word it, sunshine. We've got a lot of seasoned campaigners in chat that know what they're doing, yeah? That's right. So 17 days, mate, is that all? Hey? Yeah, good, Lefeur. Now, see, people, this is what a community's about, okay? We all engage in chat. We're all in on the same conversation. Do you know what I mean? And everybody's having a laugh. So on this channel, if you're having a shit day at home, at school, with your partner, work or whatever, pop in, have a laugh, and we'll try and put a smile on your face, all right? That's exactly right, Straya. Now, 13, mate, I've got one better than that. I gave up smoking when I was 6. There you go, fact. True fact. I used to, well, that was the 70s then, wasn't it? So apparently when I was 5 years of age, I'd steal cigarettes and I'd sit under the kitchen table and I'd smoke them, right? And then what my dad did is he dipped them in some really disgusting motor oil, and I went to smoke it and I just about threw up from the taste, so I've never touched one since. That's exactly right, Australia, you know, and it's a great Australia, but you got to do it. The biggest problem is, mate, everybody has a certain threshold with their abuse and their banter. There's a very fine line from banter to abuse, right? So you have one beer, yeah, a bit tipsy and all the rest of it with some people, you know, when they come over and try Australian beers and they have a real beer, you know. And then you sort of get to that, some people it's 5 stubbies or cans, some people's it's 6, and then it just resorts to swear words, mate, and they lose half their IQ, you know. That's exactly right, Australia. That is exactly right, bud. Good on you, mate. I'm glad you picked that up. There we go. Spark, good boy. That's what we like to see. Right? See, in those days, they called it character building. Now they call that child abuse, you know. Oh, petty. Stop it, petty. You know. So where are you from, Demon? Now, isn't this better people than just, you know... All right, that's a good size soft placky. The big brown trout down south would absolutely destroy this soft plastic. Mate, did you just say that you were from Brisbane? Petty by name, petty by nature. Come on, bud, ease up, pal. Brisbane, really? Really? Queensland, you can't spell beer, so you call it 4X. Right? And we've got no IQ? Come on, bud. What are you doing? You've just been kidding yourself. Well, at least he's like worrying about you by mixing cranberry juice with it, mate. We don't have as many cranberries here as you do over there. Oh, petty, you're not meant to turn on yourself, bud. Come on, mate. Grow a backbone, right, and just stick it out. Work with us, pal, right? Yeah, that's exactly right, Spark. I wish this river would make its flipping mind up. Yeah, Eagle. Mate, you're moving to Tassie, right? Well, that's one way of increasing the IQ of Tassie. No disrespect to anyone from Tasmania in our stream, but suck it up, right? Yeah, Eagle, I find that a lot of our American viewers do that. They'll follow and then they'll just lurk for a long time. I don't know what it's about really, but mate, just pop into stream and chat with us, bud. You know, we're a bit different to a lot of other streams, mate. We're about content creation, you know what I mean? And let's face it, being a streamer is no great achievement in life, people. All you're doing is turning your camera on, you know? All we want to do is just have a nice, steady, laid-back, chill stream. Everybody comes in, they don't feel under pressure. You know, there's no stupid alerts, no stupid goals or anything like that because we use our content for YouTube, right? And away we go, bud. Oh, okay. All right, God's loyal. Well, Petty Demon, right? Do you remember the great Tasmanian log chopper Dave Foster? I've trained with Dave Foster in the southwest. He invited me to Tasmania to train with him with the log chopping. That might be something that I do at a later date in life. But anyway, Dave's 26 stone, 6'6", 6'7", with a Tuatara axe on his shoulder. He goes, "Do you want to hear a Tasmanian joke?" I went, "Yeah, sure, just don't kill me." And he goes, "Why don't they make any football from the crowd in Tasmania?" And I went, "I don't know, Dave, why is that?" He goes, "Because the whole crowd gets in on the one family pass." Hima, it depends what you want. It depends what you want, mate. Do you want nightlife? Do you want experience the outback? What do you want, bud? Google him, mate. He's huge. Yeah, well, Eagle, just pop in, bud. No problems whatsoever, mate. We're going to be doing a lot more streams early morning from now on. We got a big push with the streaming this year, people. You wait and see. Well, mate, it depends. See, this is the problem, Himmer. Okay, Australia is misrepresented in a lot of ways, if that makes sense, bud. The only way you get a true Australian experience is just pick whether you want to go to the West Coast or the East Coast, right? And just walk into a local pub and just start chatting and drinking with people. And you'll get an idea of it, you know? Oh, mate, he's huge. Good fella, Big Bad Dave. So, yeah, mate, just chill out, you know? Actually, let's just leave that in there for a second. Oh, mate. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I did a cross-country walk on the weekend, people. Now, I won it, right? There was only one other person that was in the actual 5-kilometre walk, and that was a lady that was pregnant. And she did get a long way in front of me, but she went into labour about 2 centimetres from the finish line. And, you know, I mean, it was a photo finish. I just pipped her at the post, but a win's a win, you know? I mean, not that I'm over competitive or anything, you know? I mean, I like that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just a bit sore today, you know what I mean? Yeah, but then again, Australia, they probably take 2 hours to watch 60 minutes, mate, you know? Not everyone's as sharp as us here. You're a diesel mechanic? Oh, right, mate. Tesla, eh? Not really, Ace. I very rarely use bait. I just use bait down the beach, bud. Did the baby get third place? Being the competitive prick that I am, don't care. Okay? No, I think it might have got second. You know what I mean? When it popped out. So... Oh, there's the dolphin, people. If you just have a look across the river there, you'll see the fin. I think it's just the mother. Here it pops out again. They're just hunting. See, there's the mother and the father and the pup. Just have a look on the other side of the river there. You can see them as plain as day. Just look across there, people. See? Just in the middle there. See the fins? I wonder if they'll come in. Let's see if they'll come in. See? All the mullet being pushed to the edge by the dolphins there, see? So what they'll do is they'll split up, and when they can... Oh, there's another one here, people. There's another dolphin here just on the right. They're all coming into the river. That's interesting. I might have to ring my friend. That's the first time I've seen 3 of them in the river. Normally it's just one. That's interesting. Yeah, we certainly do. We have a snub-nosed dolphin that's in here, mate. Hang on, I'm just going to take a photo. There they are. Oh, see the bait fish here that come up? There might be a mulloway or a little whaler shark under here. Right. Oh, yeah, Ace, I don't do personal bests and that, mate. I don't have an ego when it comes to fishing, bud. Not bagging anyone else that has personal bests and that sort of stuff. But asking me what's my personal best is not really an accurate question, because, for example, a 60 centimetre brown trout is like catching a 1.3 metre mulloway, isn't it, So I don't do personal bests and all that sort of stuff. I just fish, bud. Right? I don't remember, we didn't measure everything in the old days. We didn't weigh everything in the old days, So... No, don't. You don't have to feel bad. Oh, they're feeding. Look at them. See, this is what they do. They work as a team. Check this out. Check this out. So what they'll do is they're going to come into the middle here and they're herding the fish up. So I'll get out of your way so you can see it. Check this out. It's a real spectacle, fam, when dolphins feed. Here they go. Watch them. So what they'll do is they will just herd all the fish into a ball and then they smash through them. See? See how we've got the 3 of them in here? If we're lucky, they'll push everything towards this side of the river. This is great, There we go. There we go. See in there? Right, see how they're all pushing the fish to this side of the river? We could get a once-in-a-lifetime stream here, fam. Righto, come on. You can actually identify the dolphins with their... Oh, have I got my... Oh, no, I haven't got that in the river, have I? Oh, sugar, hang on. Oh, good. All right, I'll get out of your way again. So what they're going to do, they're all going to feed now. All right, usually they push them over this side of the river. Oh, you got to see this, famo. This is awesome. Check this out. Here they go. Watch in here. Look in here. There you go, watch them feed. Oh, see that? That's chasing a fish. Look at the size of that one. That porpoise clean out of the water. Wow. That's something that you don't see that often. Where's it going to come up next, though? Here it is. They're a big animal. That actually is bigger than the kayak we've got. I think that's about a 4.5 metre. Here it is. Hey! Hello, buddy. You're showing off. Look at him showing off, the cheeky buggers. Once in a lifetime stream, famo. Look at that. Hey? Nearly 10,000 hours of streaming and we finally hit it. There you go. Look at it. Casual Rasta, how are you, bud? No, we can't, Eagle. This is their natural environment, mate. It's like you if you came to Australia and drunk Australian beer, mate. You wouldn't be able to hack it. This is a real treat, fam, isn't it, you know? Do you see that thing get airborne out of the water? You know they're in a good mood when they get airborne, famo. They're all playing then. That's just a family out for the day. This is the jet ski free version of what happened before. All right? So what we'll do, okay, let's just put this down. Patriotic chaos. Oh, you're welcome, Straya. King Ninja, what about you, mate? Where are you? Wonderstruck, what are you referring to, bud? This is Australia. I don't know whether that's an American type sort of lure that you're talking about. There we go. Yeah, the duck's just gone, see you later. See you later. See you later. Oh, yeah, Dinjo, I'm in Western Australia, bud, south of Perth. Yeah. All good fun, famo. Yeah, I like seeing the dolphins. They're a big animal, fam. Like massive, mate. Know what I mean? In it. Yeah, no, Wonderstruck Gaming, you can't, bud. Join the Discord and put it in the Discord, bud. Okay, let's just stick to the stream, bud. If it's a lure that's becoming popular again, that's great, but that's not what we're using in the stream. And this is a fishing stream, mate. So just put it in the Discord, pal. Okay? Hey, Schmack, how are you, bud? Chicago, the Windy City, apparently. That was awesome footage, Famo, wasn't it great? Now, welcome everyone, okay? And also, if you're new to the stream, please consider subscribing for free on YouTube, okay? We've just reached 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, people, so we're starting to get somewhere. Thanks to the support of our community, okay? Yeah, Ace, I had a couple of hits, bud, but nothing hooked up. So, it's like anything. What is it now? 12:15. Nah, if they're going to bite in the next 15 minutes to an hour. You never know, mate. You just got to have a soft plastic in the water, don't you? Oh, yeah, we won't go into that HMAC. I'm in Australia, mate. So, yeah, we won't worry about any of that political talk from the States, thanks, bud. Because there's a conversation that'll go round and round in circles, mate, all right? And that's probably the same in most parts of the world, so we'll leave that one out of it, pal. Hey, Fat Willis, how are you, bud? Yeah, but like anything with that, most of it's an opinion, H-Mac. So, and Chicago, from what I remember, also has a special like heat wave or something that usually goes through the city, or a wind that goes through the city. And when it goes through, it increases the temperature of the city significantly, and all the crime rate goes up and everything. Yeah, good, Willis. What's going on? What's Brother Rolly up to, mate? Is he doing much? Oh, now that was a bite. Not a very big bite. That was a bluefish. Yeah, Barracuda, look after her, mate, because she's the one that looks after you, bud. Thank you very much for giving up your time to watch the stream, okay? And we'll see you next time, eh? Oh, nice one, Willis. Yes. Nibble, hit. I've seen mulloway come out of this river that are 4 foot long, people, but that was in the old days. Herexians, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. Is everybody happy with the proportion of the picture in the stream? Are you happy with the amount of river and all that sort of stuff? You can see everything clearly? Got some awesome, awesome footage of that dolphin like leaping out the water. Oh, really? Mr. Piggies, how are you, bud? What's going on, Mr. Piggies? How's life treating you? All right, excellent, Phyrexians. That's what we try and do, mate. We try and immerse everyone in the environment, you know. One of the biggest myths in streaming, people, is you need a backpack. You don't. There's a little trick that I learnt last year. That's not a snake, is it? Something's rustling through the grass there, people. If a dugite or a tiger snake's come out of here, Moses is going to have nothing on me, man. You got to apply for a new job. What happened? Oh, did it? It's not a lake, it's a river. Christmas Creek? When were you in Perth, Fat Willis? Because I'm 2 hours south of Perth, bud. We're going to have so much fun with these soft plastics down south. Kaboink. Not like America, Himmer. Yeah, they're always a danger, but I can assure you if one bites me, it's going to die before I do. Oh, 8 years? Yeah, I didn't know you then. Oh, Mr. Piggies, don't get him with the drop bears gag. Come on, bud. You're better than that, Mr. Piggies. We've already ripped him about American beer, so I think that's the next thing, isn't it? Christmas Creek is miles away from Perth, man. Yeah, as much as we love the dolphins, people, you don't usually catch much when they're around. Rightio. Oh, really, Wonderstruck? Okay, mate, well, you got something going for you. I've got some freshwater fishing spots that are going to absolutely blow your mind this year, people. We just got to get the Starlink to work, okay? So we may even be down there Thursday having a crack, all right? That's the way, Himmer. Another successful graduate from the University of Google. This has been one of the worst mulloway seasons for years in the Swans. Ever notice how when you go into a tackle store, they always catch fish when you don't? You ever notice that? And then you go, you got a photo? And they go, oh, nah. And you go, yeah, right, and walk off. Blitzer, I'm not one of these people that uses... I watch some people fish. They've got 6 fishing rods out. Which one are you going to work with first? I'm usually... The only time I really put a rod in a rod holder is down at the beach. But when I'm fishing rivers and freshwater, I'm always holding onto the fishing rod that I'm using, mate. G-Man Dubai, hello, my friend. Oh, you're in Sydney, Willis. I didn't know you were an Aussie. No, we don't need to go to that extent, but I'll let you, just let me buy you a beer. And then what we'll do is we'll stir Rolly up. I've tried everything this year, people. The one fish that we got was on a chartreuse tar with a 3/16 ounce jig head. We're going to be selling a lot of American-made soft plastics this year out of the shop, people. I've got soft plastics from a hey, here we go. And it's always the way, isn't it? I cast to the wrong spot again. Now, watch when this soft plastic hits the water. I'm going to cast to the middle. We should have an eruption. Let's see. Nah, fail. So they must have moved. Normally when the tides come in and they go that way. Let's just leave it. Yeah, G-Man Dubai. So do we. And people, if you like gardening and you like self-sufficiency and how to save yourself a lot of money and improve your health, go and follow on Australis TV. That's our second channel. Okay, we're probably, hopefully going to get partnered by the end of the year. But what I do in there, I've got about 13 or 12 chickens at home. I say it's 13, but I say 12. That's all we're allowed to have, right? So I have 12 chickens at home. And then what I do is I use the chickens to make fertilizer and to also, you know, get eggs and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I grow a lot of food. And if you watch the other channel, I'll show you how to grow food yourself and save yourself and your family a lot of money as well along the way, okay? Nah, Himmer, I usually let it go, bud. Yeah, it's not too bad, Dubai, but it's better when there's more fish. It's been a bad season because of the heat. No, Spark, that is Santa Vittoria Acqua Minerale. It's the best. I like the old mineral water. Yeah, G-Man Dubai, we're lucky in Australia. You missed out, bud. We had dolphins swimming around here before. They were porpoising out the water. Now that's a good cast. Yeah, I actually don't drink any lemonade. I drink water and I might have a beer now and then. When our mod comes down next week, we're going to have a lot of beer. It's going to be good. Really, Mr. Piggies? H-Mac, thank you very, very much for subbing, bud, to the YouTube channel. Thank you, bud. The glare from the sun. I thought that said YouTube. Thanks, mate. You got back from South Africa? Oh, did you, Mr. Piggies? He's like, water. Hey, Hakan. Now, people. Hakan is a fishing streamer. Okay. And he does a good job. Now, if you speak German, it would help you. You get nauseous from drinking water. How much alcohol do you drink, G-Man? Good, mate. Now, Hakan, did you get partnered or were you already partnered? Because I can never tell. Hakan _ Well, how come you can't drink water? All right, people. Hakan Angelt, good guy, good streamer, all the way from Berlin in Germany. So the Germans have a very unique sense of humour. I got a couple of friends that are German, and we went out for coffee one day. And, oh, you're welcome, Hakan. You're always welcome in the stream, bud. I think I might have forgotten the last time you were in here because I was busy. You just missed out, mate. We had dolphins porpoising in the water and everything. Anyway, so I went out with these German friends, and their sense of humour is just so dry and razor sharp. It's awesome. Australia. There's only one country that has good beer, and that's Australia, right? Any country that drinks beer that's warm has got issues. Just throwing it out there, all right? They don't drink coffee, they drink Jägermeister. Oh, dear, mate. Hey, what happened there, you cheeky bugger? Oh, you cheeky bugger. Now, people, in Australia, our mulloway are the same as cob in South Africa, right? And they call them grunters in South America. And mulloway is probably the Australian version of the American redfish. And on the east coast of America, the stripers without the stripes, okay? Now, the thought process is here, they hit head first. See how this soft plastic has been smashed and the head's been smashed off? That signifies to me that it was a mulloway that hit that. So what we need to do is need to put another one on here, and I'll show you how to rig that as well, okay? So that's why I also use the Loctite soft plastic, because when the mulloway hit, they'll just hit it either side on or head first. And oh, that did get hit. Look at that, people. So what's happened is, I did have a bump on the rod before. See how it split across the back? There. So that wasn't a very big fish. It was a soapy. So what it's done is it's come in and it's gone chomp at that angle, and it's missed the hooks, because the hooks, as always with me, would have been here, see? Right, so we'll put another one on. We'll give it about 30 seconds to a minute and we'll try again. Oh dear. Coffee and beer, okay. Yeah, Hakan's good, mate. Hey, Hakan, do you do any, like, saltwater fishing in Germany? Or is it all canals? Righto people, now let me show you how to rig soft plastics. Soft plastics are usually done in a mould. See how we have the split down the middle of the soft plastic there and there? So when you're rigging soft plastics, right, soft plastics is usually a game of millimetres. So what you want to do, okay, I can actually rig this hook slightly different ways to give the soft plastic slightly different actions. So if I want my soft plastic to come in towards me, right, on a right to left arc, I can usually put my hook on one side of the soft plastic. If I want it to come in the opposite way, I put it in on the opposite side. When I want it to come in straight, you've got to put it down the middle. So for example, if you're fishing a rock wall or a snag and you want to bring your soft plastic in and you want to bring it on an arc that goes around the snag, you can actually modify the position of your hook, right, to actually do that. We've got a little spider crawling over the screen at the moment, fam, so I think it wants to mod. So see here where we've got the line, okay? What we'll do, you put that bang in the middle of the soft plastic, right? And see how I brought that out on the seam, right? Then what you do is you push that down like so, rig that in, and then what you can do is you can measure where your soft plastic goes in. So what I'll always do is I'll pinch the soft plastic just before where it goes in like that. That's the measurement that I had. We bring that in like so, bring that in through the top, ta-da. And what we have is we have a really nicely presented soft plastic that's going to look natural. Now, there is a trick, and this is the trick, Hakan. You can use this with your rigs too, okay? So, the trick isn't... Hey, Hessen! Hey, stick around, bud. I've got to give Hessen. Nice to see all the German boys in here supporting the stream and the community by watching the stream. That's what's important, boys. Now, have you followed on YouTube yet? You got to ask yourself. Now, this is a little trick, Hakan and Hassan. All right. Oh, we're going to get out there. So, see this? This is a little bit of gel super glue from Loctite. Okay, just a little drop in there behind the jig head. And what will happen is, okay, give it a second to dry. Give it about 10 or 15 seconds. What I'll do is when I put that in there, that will actually hold my soft plastic. Try and not get it on your monofilament. But see what will happen here, Hassan, and anyone else that's watching, Hakan? See how that actually is going to keep that true? Okay, that's a really good trick. That increased my catch rate by about 10%. Just the little trick with the super glue, okay? I've been using it for years. All right, and then what will happen is, so when that fish hit on the head before, you knew that it was a pretty serious bite, because to bite that and knock that off the soft plastic is a pretty good effort. Now see that? That is going to present beautifully in the water. That'll be perfect. Because what happens is when the soft plastics, they undulate, then they drop down, and then that'll flutter on the way down, and they sit like that, much like a fish grubbing on the bottom. So do yourself a favour, Loctite Super Gel, and it'll improve your fishing just that little bit, which is good, because if you learn one tip that improves your fishing by that little bit, when you learn a few tips, it improves your fishing by a lot. All right, there we go. Okay, beautiful. Now, let's see if it works. I've got plenty of plans. None of them come off, though. All right. Hessen. People, throw your support behind Hessen. Hey, King Wiki, how are you, brother? What's going on? All right. Umpa. Dembski, I don't do hydroponics, bud. Although you've got to be careful on this channel when you say that, don't you? I appreciate the offer, mate, but I just want to use the soil, matey. And I would hate to put you out, bud. If I was ever going to get anything off you, I would not get it for free. I would pay my way like anyone else, mate, because you don't owe me anything, bud. Okay? But thank you very much for the offer. if I ever get into hydroponics, you'll be the first person that I'll contact, mate. Okay, I just like using the land, mate, if you know what I mean. Although on Twitch, hydroponics usually means something else. The special hallucinogenic non-flowering Lebanese tomatoes, you know what I mean? A soilless watering system. Okay. I appreciate that, mate. Just join the Oh, you're in the Discord. Send me a message in the Discord, Dembski. We'll chat about that another time, bud. We'll just stick to the fishing stream for the moment. But thank you for the offer. I don't like getting anything for free, man. Right? I'm nothing special. Being a streamer is no great achievement in life, bud. Seriously. So many people overemphasize it. But anyway. So, yeah. If I'll get anything off you, I'll pay my way. I don't want anything for free, man. All right? But thank you for the offer. That's very kind of you. Isn't soilless watering system hydroponics? Someone's out with the chook chasers. Izzykins, how are you? This is an estuarine system, mate. This is a mixture of salt and fresh. Okay. Australia has a lot of tidal rivers, doesn't matter where you are in the country. So it's a mixture of salt and fresh for another, I think, 10 kilometres that way, bud. Right? Oh, hang on. Okay, people. Now. Come on. Let's go. There was something mouthing that soft plastic. It's been a terrible year. It's been terrible, mate. Woeful, innit? You've always got to fish your soft plastics that 1 or 2 feet off the bottom, fam. And give them time to work, you know what I mean? Slow everything down. Okay, can everybody see the fish that's swimming in the middle of the river there? Can you see that V in the middle of the river there, people? Have a look over there. Let's just see. All right, it's just turned. That could be a little school of mullet being chased by something. Do you see it just in the middle out here? Can everybody see just out in here? You'll see the little ripples in the middle. What I'm going to do is... Is that going to turn into the soft plastic or not? Come on. Oh, it is. It's heading this way, fam. Right, I'm going to let that sit on the bottom. Good, it's slowed down. Come on, bud, this way. Yes, this way. All right, so we've got some fish getting smashed in the shallows over here. What's the time? 20 to 12. No. The bite zone's after 1 o'clock today. Yeah, of course I do, Rasta. Mac, how are ya? You've got to let your jig hit the bottom, mate. Otherwise, there's no point fishing. That's how you fish soft plastics. Yeah, see over there, there's a fish in the middle of the river. You can just see the dorsal fin just piercing the top of the water. I don't know whether that's a mulloway or the very tip from a shark or a big tailor, but there is a fish in the middle of the river there that's heading back out to the ocean. Yeah, that's right, Rasta. You got to do it, mate. You very rarely catch fish on the surface, fam. Now, what happened there? Okay, so we did get hit, people. Right, let's do that. That did get belted. Boy, did it what? Okay. Oh, Hima, we've got a kayak that we're going to start taking offshore. The only reason I haven't fished offshore with it yet is I can't get insurance. As soon as I've got the insurance, mate, we'll be heading out 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kilometres offshore, man. Okay, and the other thing is too, we've got another kayak sponsorship at the end of the year, which we're not going to quite announce yet. Once I've got it finalised, we're actually going to get our hands on an offshore kayak that's designed for long distances out in the ocean, okay? And we'll be probably one of the only people in Australia to get one. So that's just a continuation of our current sponsorship, all right? Yeah, so Hima, we had a boat for a year. It was a 5.75 metre centre console, and we had a lot of good content, mate. That was back in 2019. And the funny thing is, everybody's doing that content now. So the next content we'll be doing is offshore kayak fishing in the deep. So the biggest problem I've got with that is I've just got to try and get signal, you know what I mean? So few things to do there, but we're working on it, bud. It's all about content, fam. Yeah, we got plenty of great whites. Why? Mate, we got 4.5 metre tiger sharks out here. Tezza. We've got a lot of resident tiger sharks here. The whites out here are about 6 metres long. Why? Now, am I going to be able to... I should be able to fly fish out of here soon, people. Just got to wait for that branch to drop down and then... Oh, no, I could fly fish through here. Yeah, I could fly fish through here. Easykins, when I go to a Japanese restaurant, they start screaming sumo. So that's a yes. Oh no, Himo, when I go out in the kayak, mate, I'm going to have a baseball bat and a pitchfork or an ice pick with me. And like I said, mate, I don't mind them if they give the kayak a rub, but if they want to give the kayak a nibble, I will be nailing them between the eyes as hard as I can. Don't worry about that, son. That's not really the worry, mate. We've got big seals out here that are bigger than the kayak. And what their favourite trick is, they'll swim up to a kayak perpendicular and they'll just lean on it to sink it. It's a pain. Do you remember the goodies? Ecky Thump. Remember about that, mate, the old Ecky Thump. Now, does everybody know the easiest way to increase your distance on a cast with one alteration to your casting angle and that? Oh, Mr. Piggies, you can't help yourself, can you? Easiest way to do that is increase your line speed, right? So, normally when people cast, they cast like this. They'll bring the rod here, they'll bring it back, right? Okay, and they'll cast, yeah? Lovely. Boom, that's not a bad cast. I won't bother letting this hit the bottom. I'll just bring this in on the surface. Why is that spinning? Okay. Now, if I want to increase the distance of my cast with the same amount of effort, I just need to increase my line speed. So here, see the difference? Lovely. Oh wow, 111 people. Thanks, famo. It's really good of you to stick around for the stream, eh? We've been doing great things since we've been back on the platform again. And thanks very much for everyone that was communicating with us when we went to YouTube. I'd never ever thought of, you know, streaming like that. It's a bit like owning a car. Some people like Toyota, some people like Ford, some people like Holden, some people like Twitch, some people like YouTube, some people like other stuff, you know. So when we got the messages from people about, you know, coming back to Twitch, I thought, yeah, well, technically I did turn them back on the community, which is not a good thing. But anyway, you learn, don't you? Okay, see that fish in the middle there? See, there's another fish in the middle there. See the dorsal fin, which is the one on top. Can you just see where it is in the middle? You can see that V? Right, now that's either mullet, but there might be something underneath the mullet. So let's see what's happening there. Right. Yeah, it does, Rasta. No worries, Hakan. If you're on when we go, I'll try and throw the raid, mate. That's right, Izzy. And look, mate, this is what we try and do on our streams, mate. All we try and do on our streams is get the community involved with what we were doing. When we had those dolphins playing in the water before, that was sensational, you know? 10,000 hours of live streaming to just get that one 15 to 20 second frame, you know? So that's how it goes. Yeah, for those of you that are alcoholics, that's water. What's water? Yeah, I got sort of laid up for a couple of days, people. I got a bad spider bite on my foot. I don't know whether it was a whitetail or a redback. Oh, come back. There was a bump. Now, see how the water surface has changed now? See how we've got this westerly and southwesterly blowing on the river? When you see the ripples in the water, you know that that is oxygenating the water. So when you've got that slightly rippled surface and a high tide, you usually do slightly better with your fishing because this is going to oxygenate the water. Okay? Okay, so I've got stuff splashing around. Oh, that was a bite. All right, people, I think we just had a little bite from a tailor. But anyway, come on, bud. See how this water's racing in now? We know that the tide's on its way. And with the tide books and that sort of stuff, people, they're only a guide. There's lots of things that can, you know, that's better now. It's tracking straight. Well done. I want to take us down south, people, to a river that I fish. Yeah, the fishing there is ridiculously good. Beauty. Aussie, how are you, bud? Oh, nice one, Izzy. And look, people, we can't guarantee fish, right? We can never guarantee fish. All we can guarantee is that we share the experience together, okay? And like I've always said, we like to bring our community together with our content. I think this year, though, in the spring, when the mulloway start coming back in September, October, then we're going to know about it. This year compared to other years, I've had a lot of follows with the soft plastics and the lures, you know. Like you'll see the fish swimming up, but they don't hit them. I don't know why. Let's see how we go, eh? Just depends, Sparky. On the East Coast, it's worse because they've got funnel webs, mate. They're nasty. Right? Yeah, funnel webs are nasty. We don't have funnel webs in Western Australia, thank God. The white-tailed spider is a flesh-eating spider. And when I had the infection on the foot, they scraped the scab back and they saw the 2 fang marks. So what happened was it must have bitten and then injected the venom into that spot. I've got a little crater in my foot that's disgusting. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. This is the important thing, people watching the stream, you know. Like I've always said, I'm the least important person in the stream. There's plenty of other people you can go and watch, you know what I'm saying? So all right, we're going to change the lures in a second. We're going to change to the same lure that caught the mulloway last time. All right. Yep, have I got enough line? Probably not. 6 months? Yeah, I wish, Casual. Now, people, mate, some people lose limbs, matey. Some depends on the person, you know what I mean? Some people lose limbs from whitetails. Now, people, I get lost. I get asked a lot of questions, right, about length of leader. Let me put this to you. In our rivers, I like to use 50 centimetre long leaders or 20-inch long leaders in the imperial scale for one reason mainly. For example, to get a mulloway above 50 centimetres is pretty rare. The last one we got was 60. It was a nice big fish, a couple of feet long, right? So look, the state record for Western Australian black brim is 52 centimetres long, caught in the Swan River behind the Police Academy in East Perth, okay? Now, the reason why I use 50 centimetre leaders is it's a good manageable side, and if a fish turns, you're very rarely going to get a brim or a herring or anything like that that's 50 centimetres long in the river. And if you're going to get a mulloway that's 50 centimetres long in the river or bigger, it's more the depth of the fish that's the issue rather than the length, okay? So I'll show you why I do that. And if you get a big brim, for example, that you hook on a soft plastic, they usually turn away from you and the leader will rub along the fish. Now, if you don't have a long enough leader, the dorsal fin of the brim will rub along the braid and cut it. But if you have a long enough monofilament leader, what will happen is is that a snake? Anyway, what will happen is the fish will just rub along it and then you'll land it, hopefully. Now, with your leaders, once you hook a nice big fish like 40, 42, 43 centimetres, right? Whenever you hook a fish that size, always run your fingers along the monofilament because your fingers can feel what your eyes can't see, right? And then if you have any nicks, even a slight abrasion in your leader, just change it out for a new one because you could lose the fish of a lifetime on the next cast, you know? All right. Cronus, how are you, bud? Hey, stranger, how you doing? Rasta, don't use wire, bud. You're not allowed to use wire in Western Australia. I just use, look, I'll either use fluorocarbon or I'll use red fishing line. Red is the first colour that disappears under the water, okay? That's why you have so many chemically sharpened hooks that are red and all the rest of it, okay? So let's get this sorted. There's something rustling in the leaves. Yeah, good, Cronus. Where you been, bud? Where you been, Cronus? Ah. No, we don't need that. We need that. Yeah, you're not wrong there, Mr. Piggies. All right, people. So this is a lure that's caught fish. When it comes to lure fishing and soft plastics, when in doubt, just use a white soft plastic, okay? So this is what we're going to use now. That's a 3-inch paddle tail. These are the ones that I import from America. They're made in the same town as Z-Man Soft Plastics, right? By a little independent company. We'll be doing a lot of American-made soft plastics on the shop in July when it happens, because every single American soft plastic I've used has been top quality, people, and you get so much more use out of it than the offshore ones. It's ridiculous, okay? No. Oh, good on you, mate. Congratulations. Are you getting the money that you wanted, or? Oh. That's good, mate. Congratulations. Work's good. It allows you to lead the life that you want to lead, you know. Wild, they were livid. Dun, 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 dun. No idea, Izikins. I wouldn't even bother to count, mate. If you're worried about losing lures, don't go fishing. Okay? I know one guy years ago that I fished with, he used to get paranoid about losing flies. And I'm like, mate, it's not worth losing your life to get a fly back. Just, you know. Admittedly, with soft plastics, as though you don't lose as many soft plastics because they ride hook up, so they're virtually snag free. But other lures, yeah, we've lost a few. Himmer, there's kangaroos all over Australia, mate. I wake up some mornings on the front lawn, I've got kangaroos eating the lawn, bud. And I just look at them and go, normally I tend to get annoyed, but in this case I'm going to make an exception. Yeah, unfortunately, Cronus, I can't bring them into Australia, bud. They won't let me, the silly sausages. Oh, come on. I've actually reactivated a couple of Australian agencies for the online store. That's going to be interesting. We'll be stirring a few people up with that, people. Really, Izzykins? What were you doing? Yeah, it's all about biodiversity protection and all that sort of stuff, Dembski. So what it is, the soft plastics that I can bring in are made of gelatine, right? But in them you've got actual real oils and that sort of stuff and real scents, so there's a ban on that. Yeah, that's right, Cronus. One of the biggest problems in Australia, we don't have much industry, see? Let's see what's... Izzykins, if you're going to fish for squid, you fish on a full moon. Squid love the full moon, mate. And that's usually when they're most active. All right. I don't know about that, Izzykins, but the best time to fish for squid is on a full moon, mate. That's when they're rampant. Yeah, that's fact. That's just, yeah, all the old timers know about that. Oh, lovely cast. Look at that. Oh, there's squid in there. Hey, there's the best fisher of the lot, the pelican. Come on, mate. Come and photobomb. Come over here. I love these paddle tails. That's better. All right, that's in the shade. Good. Hoompa. Let's have another drink. Yeah, Izzykins, what I do is I always try and cast 1 foot to the left of the right of where I'm casting. The thing is, mate, with soft plastics, because they're not a bait, right, you've got to put the lure right in front of the nose of the fish. So I'll cast here, I'll cast there, and I'll work my way around. To work this area properly, it'll take about 45 minutes, you know. I don't know what it is, Cronus, but with squid, they're always more active on a full moon, and octopus. Just more light for them at night too, bud. Excuse me. You know what, tomorrow we might do a brimfish somewhere else, I think. Spark. Look, bud, don't complicate your fishing. The tides are going to come in and out every day like they've been doing since the dawn of time, bud. Right? There is some effect. You have more effect on the tides with the new moon rather than the full moon. On the new moon, that's when the earth has the most gravitational pull, okay? So your new moon tides are better than your full moon tides, bud. So yeah, but don't look into it, mate. Just go fishing when you can go fishing, right? And just work it out from there. It's good I can go and get some lunch in a minute. Oi, that's a terrible cast. I bloody moved when I went to cast that. Let's do that again, shall we? Right. Don't move this time, Jimbo. That's better. Yeah, don't know, Himmer. Don't know, mate. I don't know what it is. Look, your conditions change on a daily basis, people. And from your full moon to your new moon, or even from your full moon to your full moon cycle again, is always roughly about 30 odd days, you know. So on each day of the month, because of the different factors that you have with your fishing, moon's one of them, barometric pressure's another, you have sunlight, tides, all the rest of the stuff. Each day of the month can be different for your fishing. So on some days you'll, like squid, I don't bother chasing squid on a new moon. I always chase squid on a full moon. It's just how they're genetically wired, you know, and leading up to a full moon. So 3 or 4 days either side of a full moon, great time to go squidding, you know. Two totally different things, Cronus. One's a natural thing that you catch at the water, bud. And look, don't get too wrapped up in the whole biodegradable thing, because at the end of the day, right, artificial lures, whether they're biodegradable or not, aren't the best for fish anyway, mate. Okay? So it's just a lesser of two evils, you know. There we go. Squid are lovely, Himmer. Nagy, how are you, bud? Hey, Petty Demon, thanks, mate. And, you know, don't get too excited living up in Brisbane, mate. Is that a crab on that? Let's have a look. Yeah, but that's why you put them in a bucket, Mr. Piggies, without any water in it, right? Or you hold them on the edge and always have them pointing away from you, so they do that, mate. Okay. That's one of my favourite tricks when you've got someone new on a boat or fishing. And you go, yeah, just look at it long enough, it'll give you a present, and you know. Hey, no worries, Izzykins. Mate, look after the wife, bud. She looks after you, bud. Even if it is with the back end of a Coke bottle right across the forehead for being cheeky. Okay? Got to remember we're in Australia. Well, that's why they do it, Himmer. That's why they do it, bud. When you've got squid, you've got to put them in a bucket with no water. They use the water to propel the ink, right? And you can usually see if the ink sac is full in the squid anyway, mate. There's actually a pasta they make with the ink from squid. I don't know why you'd eat it, but ugh. Blech. Oh, isn't it Cronus? Oh, not really, mate. They produce the squid, G-Man. They produce the ink, G-Man. Yeah, that's right, Cronus. Flippin' duck. These would go very well in freshwater. The good thing is too, people, when you do that little back cast and that little forward cast, you can actually alter your hand position so you do a flatter cast. That way when you're fishing snaggy area or you've got to shoot gaps, you have less of a loop to end up in the foliage in trees. Really, Cronus? Well, that's interesting. How can the sun be dropping in the sky and then come out again? Oh, God. Hey, stop it, you little bugger. Whatever's in the bushes there. Okay. That was a snag. There is something that's rummaging around in the cut grass. I said cut then, there was no N in it. Does everybody know how to tell when their soft plastic is on the bottom of the waterway they're fishing? Does anybody know? Oh, nice one, Sparky. Would you like me to show you if you don't? Yeah, to a certain extent, Himo, I'll show you. And this is why you use high-vis line to fish. So what we'll do, let's bring the camera down a bit closer and I'll show you exactly how it works, okay? So, Famo, what I'll do is I'll put the camera in front of me here. Thank you very much to the 130 people that have stuck around. Right, so let's go in here like this. So, I need to change the angle on the camera though to get the right shot. So let's bring this up a bit more. Right, great. All right, fam. So what we're going to do is now, I'm just going to give you a little demo on how to tell when your soft plastic's on the bottom. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast over the lens with the rod. Right, so when you cast, okay, your line's a very, very important tool with your fishing because it lets you know what's going on underneath the water, okay? So here, now see that there, see the loop from right to left, okay? That means that we've got a westerly or a southwesterly wind blowing. So what'll happen is, because the tide's still coming in, see how all this water's heading upstream, right? That way, you know that the tide's starting to come in. So if we're going to get a bite, it's going to be another half hour. So what I'm going to do here is, okay, now see this line, how it's taut, right? And you'll see that from right to left, it's sort of through here. This is not really a good time to try and use the soft plastics because they're going to move, but bump, bump, right? Now see this here, okay, that could have even been a hit, but see how the line has now gone straight? So I go bump, bump, right, wind it on the way down, and there we go, I've wound it. That was a bit of an unnatural action, so that's not going to do us any favours. So bump, bump, right? So see here, see how the line's straightened up now? And it's not moving anymore, you know that your soft plastic's on the bottom. So if a fish now is going to hit, we've got a bit of a problem, because with the rod tip, see the loop because of the way that the water's dragging the braid. So bump, bump, take up that slack, bring it down. Here we go. Now see how we've got a little bit of a slack in the line. Right, bump, bump, bring it down again, like that. Okay, we know that the soft plastic's on the bottom, see? Bump, bump. All right, there's the soft plastic. So if we do that again, okay, now see this? See how the line's spewing off the reel? We know that the soft plastic's sinking. The moment the line stops spewing off the reel, we know that it's on the bottom, okay? Certainly is. Aisha, how are you, bud? Yeah, that's right, Him, and that's what we're hoping, bud. So now what we've got to do, okay, now see how the line's straight now? I've wound up all the slack. Bump, bump. Right, okay, there we go. Now see that there, how the line's dropped in the water? That means the soft plastic's on the bottom. Bump, bump. Right, and what you want to do is you want to wind the slack up. There we go, and again, bump, bump. Right, it'll sort itself out. And see how it stopped moving now that we know the soft plastic's on the bottom. Every soft plastic that you use, depending on the size of the soft plastic, the size of the jig head, the size of your leader, the size of the braid that you're using in the rod and reel outfit, drops at a different rate. So you've got to learn to be adaptable with your fishing tackle, okay? So bump, bump, there we go. Right. Okay, so that line stopped moving towards us, so we know that the soft plastic's on the bottom. Now, if that line were to straighten, we know that a fish has hit it, and you set the hook. Bump, bump. Right, see that there? Look. Okay, it's stopped moving. The soft plastic's on the bottom. Bump, bump. And again. You got to fish everything on the bottom, people. You never ever try and fish it on the surface. Because with the Australian heat and that sort of stuff, most of your fish are on the bottom, you know. Right. Bump. There we go. And see how I'm just taking my time. Now, did you see the little bait fish flash in front of the line there? Right. 9 times out of 10 people, you do get a lot of hits in really close. See the bait fish there? And this is why white is such a good colour to use in rivers, so it's so visible. So what we'll do this again, okay? So, here's the cast. Okay, beautiful. See how the line's still coming off the reel? We know that the soft plastic's still sinking. Now see how the water's changed? Right, see how we don't have anywhere nearly as much movement in the water. Now we're at the top of the tide. So if we're going to get a fish, it's going to be now. Okay. Now see how that line's just slackened off a bit? We know that the soft plastic jig head is on the bottom. Bump, bump. Bring that in, steady. What you're trying to do is recover your line before it lands on the water. So you've got it straight, so that way you can contact the fish if it sets the hook. Okay. After a while, it just becomes a rhythm, people. You know what I mean? And this is the science behind the soft plastics, right? That's why soft plastics work so well. So see how that little bit of line just slackened off then on the rod tip? You know that it's on the bottom. Don't be afraid to leave the soft plastics on the bottom because the jig head's there and the tail's just working around in the current, see? And there you go. That's why they're so good to fish with, because they're so visible. All right, let's bring this back now. Okay, let's do a little bit more up close and personal with this. We're a different height. Oi. Let's try that. Okay. All right, people, let's see how we go with this now, eh? Now, questions in chat. Cronus, we don't have any predators in Western Australia, mate. We've got no big cats, we've got no bears, we've got nothing, bud. The only thing is you might bump into the odd wild dog now and then, but you just usually throw rocks at them, you know. Rux, how are you? No flatties, bud. Asia, look, mate, there's no right and wrong way to fish, bud, right? So, you know, yeah, this is a saltwater river, mate. You won't really get much here with worms. Freshwater rivers are a bit different. I'll be showing you a freshwater river later in the week. Now, look, people, yeah, like I said, Asia, you've just got to sit there, man, and just figure it out for yourself. We started off with a hard-bodied lure, then we saw the bait fish come in, then we went to a soft plastic, man, you know? Right. So, let's go here. Nicely done. This has been the worst mulloway season in about 6 years, people. So, let's hope next year's a bit better, eh? One fish live on stream, it's been horrid. That's how it goes, mate. You can't guarantee fish, bud. And if you don't catch any, you don't catch any. The next time you do, you appreciate them more, you know. No one's ever going to catch fish every time they go out, people, you know. A lot of people that brag and that sort of stuff, they're just feeding their egos. Your personal best is usually the last fish that you've caught. Think of it that way. Right. You got to remember too, Himmer, here this is a mixture of fresh and salt water. I'm surmising on my experience as to where the fish are. They could be 50 feet that way. They could be 50 feet this way. You don't know, mate. You just got to wait for them to turn up, you know. But if you've got bait fish swimming around, which we had, you usually have other fish, you know. So if we got 3 or 4 days or 5 days of solid rain, it would flush the whole river out, and I know exactly where they are. Because when the rivers push all the fresh water out into the ocean, it pushes all the saltwater fish back out into the ocean, so they start their life cycle out in the ocean. Rivers are usually nurseries for a lot of your saltwater fish. Mullet, tailor, silver brim, pink snapper, mulloway, all those fish. Even in the Swan River in Perth, you'll catch juvenile Samson fish and yellowtail kingfish, right? So in those situations, they're the nurseries for the saltwater fish. So rivers are just as important as the ocean, but not many people know that, you know. Oh, I know what you mean, Himmer. We don't have too many crabs in here at the moment because of the fresh water. Crustaceans are more susceptible to like fresh and saltwater mix changes than what fish are, believe it or not, right? Now that southwesterly's come up. What we might do tomorrow, famo, is tomorrow we'll do a beach fishing stream early, right? I got a sneaking suspicion that the snapper are coming in close. And I think May the 15th or 14th was when we got one a long time ago. What I might do is I might try and catch an Australian salmon with a fly rod off the beach. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Cronus. Western Australian rivers are usually brackish, bud. You just got to figure out where more of the salt is. So what'll happen is, at the end of this summer, because we had such a hot summer, all the salt had pushed right up to the high country, right? We had that first 100 mil of rain or whatever, a little bit flushed out and all the rest of it. And then what'll happen is the more rain you get, the more fresh water that heads down towards the ocean. And it's just hit and miss, mate. You just got to try and find your fish, you know. Some rivers do fish better than other rivers. There is one river down south that when we get the first range of proper rains, I usually go and fish and get all the big spawning fish, but that's not really good because you don't want to attack the spawners, you know. Oh, that's how it goes, Himmer. That's just the lay of the land here, mate, you know. Okay, normally they're here. That's about where they normally are. So let's see what's happening there, eh? Commando, how are you, bud? I've never heard of it, bud. Have never heard of it, mate. Excuse me. Oh, Japanese domestic market stuff. Hey, mate, Commando, with that, the Shimano catalogue is about yay thick, right? Oh, it's a little possum in a tree. Shimano catalogue's about yay thick. The Australian version of the Japanese Shimano catalogue is about that thick because we don't have the same disposable income as Asia and Europe and America, apparently. And I know that for a fact because when I was in the tackle trade, they showed me. Right, so yeah, a lot of the stuff that Shimano brings in, we don't get in Australia, bud. Yeah, Izikins, and that's not enough, mate. I'm seriously, whenever I get, you know how you get suggestions about content to watch, right? Whenever I get suggestions to watch these people trying to catch the big groper and that sort of stuff, I mean, I just flick out of it, mate, because that is just, in terms of content, that is low-lying fruit. And then what they'll do is they'll use a juvenile shark that's got a minimum legal size as the bait for it, you know, and they rock up to a jetty with a big beach, like it's not beach, with a big boat rod with a big reel. It's just brain-dead content, mate, right? Just brain-dead content to me. And that's my opinion. That's just my opinion, right? They do what they like, but with me, I've got no interest in it, bud, you know? Yeah, so they should be too, mate, you know. Social media is what's going to stuff up fishing for everyone, people, because of the fact that so many people are doing anything they can to sort of get views for the content. The groper fishing is one of them, right? And I mean, just leave them alone. They're a very territorial fish. They're really easy to hook onto, right? And I mean, you know, they don't really hold up too well after they've been fought for a while and let go. It's like the shark fishing, mate. The shark fishing just bores me, right? I mean, I just, yeah, can't be bothered with it. But a lot of people get off on that stuff because they're like, oi, 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 that was a fish. Right, we've just had a hit. Right, hang on a second. Wasn't a very big fish, okay? All right, so our line's moving. Take the soft plastic. Come on, son. One tip, if you get a bite and you think your fish is on there, take a step towards your rig, right, and drop your rod tip and get the slack out. Don't take a step back because it'll drop it, okay, like that. Yeah, we haven't had any stuff like hitting today, people, have we? Let's have a look. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Just excuse me for a second. I've got to do the welcoming part. All right. To all the new people that are in the stream, welcome. My name's Jim. This is Australis Fishing. Now, first things first, stream's free to watch. You're never going to see any goals or have any alerts or anything like that in the stream because we use this content for our YouTube channel, right? Oh, yeah, I know, Commando, but look, mate, that's their business. We would never do that here, okay? I would like to ask a small favour, and it'll only cost you a click. It won't cost you any money. Consider subscribing on our YouTube channels. We have Australis Fishing on YouTube, and we have Australis TV. They're the names of the channels, right? We also have Australis TV on Twitch. It's in the title. If you like non-fishing content like gardening and lifestyle and fitness and how to grow your own food and, you know, get your own seeds and plants up, that's what we do on the other channel. We show people how to save money and grow their food with a healthy alternative. And we've grown some really nice fruit and veg so far this year, okay? So look, with that, like I said, welcome to the stream. What we try and do is bring our community together with our content, right? There's never any pressure from us. Come in, put your feet up, just enjoy what you're doing, And yeah, tune in. And as you can see by the way that we've got everything structured here, we're trying to immerse the community in what we're doing. All right. Alrighty, let's have our last few casts. We'll throw out a raid and then we'll see what's happening, eh? Beauty. Thank you very much, people. 5,006 subscribers on YouTube. That's awesome. Thank you. Righto, people, I was going to end. We've just had some bait fish that have been smashed in the shallows here. So we'll just wait for them to come past. And then we'll just work from there, eh? You got to remember too, people, whenever we live stream, I've been fishing for over 50 years and I've done a wide variety of fishing. The only thing I haven't really done is ice fishing because we don't have it here, right? So, you know, I've written for books, or I've written for a book overseas. I've just been asked to write for another one. And we just try and share our experiences and our knowledge. And if you watch our streams for long enough, you'll be able to watch what we're doing and go off and do it yourself, okay? A lot of people have come in and picked up tips from us and improved their fishing, which is what we like to do, okay? Well, it's been a totally disappointing year this year for the mulloway. It's been rubbish. Hey, Ethan, no, bud. Hey, that's the way, Becca. Welcome, mate. Yeah, we're going to hopefully be doing some fly fishing on Thursday, bud. We do a lot of fly fishing on the channel. We did a fly tying stream on Sunday, okay? And we do have a lot of fly tying content on our YouTube. So it's just trying to find the time to do it, mate, you know? All right, well, people, thank you very, very much for tuning in today. Sorry about no fish, but I've got no control over that. Thank you very, very much. What we're going to do is going to throw a raid out to one of our big supporters of the channel. Be you, how are you, legend? To fish freshwater, it's $50. To fish saltwater in the boat, it's $50. You don't need a license to fish here because it's not freshwater. And if you want to fish for the native Western Australian crustacean called the marron, it's another $50. But then when you combine them, you get about $10 off. Okay? So people, we're going to go and raid Roly Poly Potamus. He's been a big supporter of the channel. One of the main reasons we got partnered again. He's a good guy. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for being such a great inspiration to stream. I've got 3 words for you all. Keep being awesome. Until next time, hope you're happy and healthy and wise. Bye for now. Don't forget to follow and sub on YouTube. Okay? It doesn't cost you anything to sub on YouTube. Thanks, people. Now, yep, let's go.